Welcome to the Trading with Venus podcast, where we help you establish strong trading habits, generate consistent profits, and create the lifestyle you desire for yourself and your family. Now your host, Raman Gill.
Welcome to Trading with Venus podcast, episode 21. I am your host, Raman Gill. The topic for today's conversation is recovering from your mistakes. We as humans and as traders make mistakes from time to time. This is a given. This is something that we cannot avoid mistakes. Mistakes happen. But the most important part when it relates to trading is how do you overcome these mistakes and how do we move forward from it? And also, what can we put in place so that we don't repeat these mistakes? Or if we do get into that downward spiral, how do we quickly reset ourselves and recover from them? Recently, I lost a big portion of my profits. The last couple of months have been great for me. I made some really good money trading. However, I lost a big chunk of those over the last week or so. And in this podcast, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I did wrong and what my plan is to recover from them. And I'm sharing this with you. It's embarrassing for me to share this. However, I am sharing this with you so that you can learn from my mistakes. And next time you come to something like this, when you make mistakes in your trading, you can look at some of the things that I am doing to recover from my mistakes, and you can perhaps implement similar things. So the first thing was trading when tired. When I woke up to trade that morning, I was very tired because I had traded the London session, and then waking up to trade the New York session, I just was not feeling at my best self. My mindset wasn't quite where it needed to be. I just felt exhausted. And this is when I should have just stopped and said, okay, maybe today's not the best day for me to trade and just stay away from my computer. However, I looked at the charts. I thought the market was a certain place and it would recover from there, and I got into trades, which was a big mistake. So how do we work around that? Because there will be times when we won't be at our very best. So what do? First thing that you can do is practice some mindfulness. So assess yourself. How are you feeling that day? Are you feeling up to trading? Because trading is such a mind game that you don't want to go into it half prepared. So take a look at yourself, assess yourself to see if you're in the right frame of mind to trade. And if you're not, there are a couple of things that you can do to bring yourself back into alignment. And one of those things is to meditate. When you meditate, it calms your mind down, takes away the stress, and it aligns you. Then you can go back to your computer and look at your trading, look at your charts to see what the markets are doing. Second thing is you can work out. If you don't believe in meditation, you can go work out. You get similar results from working out as well. Our body produces endorphins when you work out, which takes away the stress, reduces the stress, and puts you in a more focused and alert state of mind. This will then translate into better performance when you're trading. If you still feel tired or if you don't feel fully alert, then that may not be the best time to trade. The best thing for your account is to step away and actually not trade. Second thing was overtrading. I got into a bad trade and then I tried to dig my way out of that. That is not the most optimal strategy for managing the one mistake you have made. What I would recommend is, and what I plan to do next time is, when I've made a mistake, assess it objectively. And if it is a mistake, then just close the trade and walk away from it. Don't try to dig myself out of a hole by taking more trades, because when you're not in the best frame of mind, the next trades that you're going to take will not be the best either. And also another point around that is having some trading goals. So once you hit your trading goals, it's best to either stop trading or reduce your position size so that you are not putting your profits on the line. So that's something very important to remember as well. Third thing that I did wrong was managing risk. Even though my risk per trade was okay, it's just that number of trades that I got myself into in trying to dig myself out of the hole was actually brought my risk above where it needed to be. So risk management is very important. We have heard this from pretty much all our guests on the show. They talk about managing your risk, making sure the size that you're trading is small, and that's what we need to do. Next time you feel yourself wanting to dig yourself out of the trade, remember that it could go the other way completely. So make sure the risk that you are putting, the complete total portfolio risk, is not too much. Number 4 is accepting the loss. The best thing for me to do would have been to just accept the first loss that I had, and because I was still within my profit margin for the day, I was still profitable for the day, and I could have walked away from that. In not wanting to accept the loss, I took more trades and ended up giving back even more of my profits. So this is not the best strategy. And another thing that I did wrong was just not looking at the market objectively. I was trying to do the same thing that got me into trouble to get out of it, which is not the smartest thing to do. The last thing that I did wrong was around following my process. I have a process that I follow when I sit down to trade every day. I go through the markets in a certain way. I look at the charts, I look at the news. I have this process. This is my morning process to start my day off right. And I found that I actually did not do that process. I just straight away went to my charts, made a decision without really doing my proper analysis. And I find when I don't follow my process, my results show that. And in this case, my results truly show that, because I did give back all my profits. So one of the ways to counteract that and make sure you're not making them mistakes is have a written down process. I would suggest having a process, map it down. So when you're in a job, you go to your work, you go to your office, you have a process on how you start your day. You don't just get to the office and start working without really thinking about what you're going to do that day. So similarly, in trading as well, we need to have a process that we follow when we get to our trading desk. And my process is actually something that you are welcome to steal. You can go to my website and get a free copy of my morning process, which is called 3 Steps to Consistent Forex Profits. It's actually a morning process and after trading process. So this is something that I've put together after years of being in the market and kind of stumbling through these things and making all these mistakes. I finally found that I've settled on a process that I find really works. So you're welcome to go and get that. The bare bones, though, that you do want to follow is around creating a trade plan. Before you start taking trades, you need to have a trade plan in place. And I found in this case, because I just came to a small loss, I actually didn't even look at my trade plan. I didn't have a trade plan for that morning. I just was not willing to accept the small loss that I was in. And as a result, I just went for it and did it all wrong. But the best thing to do is at least have a trade plan and look at some of the levels that you're wanting to take trades in, find the direction of the market, find what's going on in the market, look at the news that's coming out and see how you want to trade that. So at the very least, have a trade plan around where you're going to get into trades, when you're going to get out, what kind of risk you're going to take on that, on those particular trades. So that is a gist of some of the mistakes that I made. These mistakes cost me a lot of money just in 1 week, giving back all my profits. The good news is I do still have my principal, so I haven't really gotten into that, which is great. So at least there is a way to come back from it. And secondly, I have assessed myself. I have taken a look at what I did wrong. And although this feels terrible to have worked so many hours to make that money and then just to give it back just like that, and also like making mistakes that I have learned from previously, these are the things that at this point I shouldn't be making. But hey, you know what? Doesn't matter what level you're at, how many years of experience you have, we all go through these things. And that's why I just wanted to have this very open conversation with you, that this is what happens. Even though you've been trading for many years, sometimes you just do things that you look back and say, oh, that was not the smartest idea. So this is what happened, and this is my plan on how I am going to recover from my mistakes and avoid making them in the future. So hopefully you've learned something. Maybe hopefully you're walking away with a few pointers that you can take and apply to your trading, or next time you are in this situation, you're able to recover from that. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode today. I am so very grateful to have you on the show and spending time with me. Have a great trading week, and I will see you next time.
If you want consistency in your trading, we invite you to join our daily market analysis calls, where we provide the levels to find the best entries and targets on an intraday basis. For a 1-week free trial, please visit www.tradingwithvenus.com. Thanks for joining us today. With much gratitude, your show host, Raman Gill.